People who voted against unionizing their workplace? Why did you vote against it? I worked nights at a small manufacturing plant for a few years and I really loved my schedule. I was on this sweet 7-on, 7-off rotation, 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., and it was perfect for me. 7 nights in a row, then a full week off to do whatever I wanted. If I happened to tack on some vacation days, I could string together 3 weeks off in a row. It was insane, and I loved it. I could stick to a night schedule the whole time. No weird swings between days and nights that would ruin sleep cycles. When the union started talking about organizing, I wasn't against it outright, but I was cautious. Most people in our department were excited about the idea. They were tired of management being unpredictable, schedules changing on a whim, and pay not reflecting the insane hours. The union promised protections, formal grievance procedures, and some leverage on scheduling, which sounded great on paper. I kept thinking about my schedule. I had worked it out perfectly for years. I knew when I could see friends, when I could run errands, when I could sleep without disturbance. It worked for my life, and yet, the union started negotiating, and suddenly, everything changed. The first real sign of trouble was when I got a notice that my schedule had to be adjusted because of some rule they said my 7-on, 7-off rotation violated labor regulations. They claimed it wasn't legal for me to work 7 consecutive nights with that many hours. I couldn't believe it. My schedule had worked for years and no one had said a word. Now, suddenly, the union was telling management it had to change. The new schedule? 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., Friday before my weekend working, and Monday after my weekend off. It was barely recognizable. Instead of my long stretches of free time, I now had fragmented off days that barely allowed me to recover from the overnight shift. I had gone from a perfectly balanced schedule to one that made planning anything in advance nearly impossible. I went to one of the union reps to complain. Why did this happen? I asked. My schedule worked. I liked it. Why are you telling management it's illegal? The answer I got was vague. Something about labor law. Some clause about maximum consecutive days and hours. Something about how they were protecting me and the employees. I didn't feel protected. I felt punished. My carefully structured life had been thrown into chaos because the union assumed they knew better. That was the day I knew I would vote against unionization if I got the chance. I couldn't stomach the idea of a union dictating my life in ways I didn't want. For me, it wasn't about wages or benefits. It was about autonomy. My schedule worked for me and no one else had the right to tell me it didn't. The vote came and I voted no. I told a few coworkers why and most of them shook their heads, confused. But the union will protect you, they said. It's for your benefit. I wanted to say, my benefit is my life staying the way I made it work, but I didn't get into arguments. It wasn't worth it. I knew what mattered to me. After the vote, I watched some people grumble about the schedule changes, even those who supported the union. A few of them had their routines disrupted too. Management had used the new rules to shuffle shifts around, and it left a lot of people frustrated. I didn't feel victorious exactly, but I felt justified. I had chosen the option that preserved the one thing I cared about most, my control over my own time. I stayed in my job for a few more years. My schedule remained fragmented, but I learned to adjust. I picked up hobbies that I could do late at night or early in the morning, things that fit around the new hours. But I still resented that a system designed to protect workers had actually made my life more difficult. I told friends who were considering unionizing at their jobs to think carefully about what they valued. Wages and benefits are important, sure, but sometimes the small things, the schedules you live by, the routines you've built, matter just as much. Looking back, I don't regret voting no. I understand why some people voted yes. They were frustrated with management, worried about job security, and wanted a formal structure in place. For me, it was personal. My life worked a certain way, and I wanted it to stay that way. The union still exists at my workplace, and some people are happy with it. I don't interfere with their choices. I just focus on what I can control, my own time, my own life, and the routines I hold on to. The 7-on, 7-off schedule is gone, but the lesson stuck. Sometimes the fight isn't about money or protection. It's about keeping your own life intact.